Hi, in this video, we would like to demonstrate how to create an Elasticsearch cluster using Huawei Cloud's Cloud Search Service (CSS). You can use Elasticsearch clusters created in CSS for purposes like log analytics, data search, real-time data analytics, and more. You can create an Elasticsearch cluster in either of the following ways. Method 1. Create an Elasticsearch cluster on the CSS Management Console. This video will show this method. Method 2. Create an Elasticsearch cluster using a CSS API. For details, see the API reference. The web interface shown in this video is subject to change, as it's continuously updated and improved. Now, let's watch this video to see how to create a pay-per-use, security mode Elasticsearch cluster on the CSS Management Console. Preparations. You have planned the cluster's scale, node configuration, and storage capacity. You have created the VPC, subnet, and security group that will be used by the cluster you're creating. If you are going to enable automatic snapshot creation for the cluster, make sure you have created an OBS bucket for storing snapshots. In this video, snapshots will not be enabled for the cluster, so there is no need to create an OBS bucket. To create an Elasticsearch cluster, perform the following steps. Step 1. Open the Create Cluster page. Step 2. Configure the cluster. Step 3. Submit the cluster creation task. We're gonna show each step in detail. Step 1. Open the Create Cluster page. Log into the CSS Management Console using a valid account. In the navigation pane on the left, choose Clusters, Elasticsearch. In the upper right corner, click Create Cluster. The new version UI for creating a cluster is displayed by default. To help you create clusters more efficiently, CSS's Create Cluster page has been redesigned for ease of use. The new simplified procedure is more intuitive and straightforward. This video will show the new cluster creation page. Step 2. Configure the cluster. Cluster type, select Elasticsearch. Cluster version, select 7.1 This version is recommended. Region, select the region where the cluster is located. For lower network latency and quicker resource access, select the nearest region. AZ, select one or more AZs associated with the cluster region. AZs can communicate with each other over an internal network but are physically isolated. Billing mode, select yearly or monthly or pay-per-use. Yearly or monthly, you prepay for a yearly or monthly subscription. Pay-per-use, you pay for what you actually use by the hour. In this video, we select pay-per-use. Configure data nodes, select data node specifications, storage type, and node quantity based on service requirements. Data nodes are primarily used to store the cluster's data. If the cluster has no client nodes, the data nodes will need to handle the additional task of query request distribution and data analysis. If the cluster has no master nodes, the data nodes will also need to handle cluster management. Configure master nodes. This is optional. If they are required, select master node and configure them. Master nodes manage cluster-wide operations including metadata, indexes, and shard allocation. For large-scale deployments, dedicated master nodes enhance cluster stability. Configure client nodes. This is optional. If they are required, select client node and configure them. Client nodes route and coordinate search and indexing requests, offloading processing from data nodes for enhanced query performance and cluster scalability when there are heavy loads. Configure cold data nodes. This is optional. If they are required, select cold data node and configure them. Cold data nodes are used to store and query large quantities of latency-insensitive data. They offer an effective way to manage large datasets while cutting storage costs. In this video, we're not going to use master, client, or cold data nodes. VPC, select a VPC for the cluster for proper network isolation. Subnet, select a subnet for the cluster. A subnet improves network security by providing exclusive network resources that are isolated from other networks. IPv4 address, assign IPv4 addresses to cluster nodes. Assign automatically, private IPv4 addresses will be automatically assigned to cluster nodes. Assign manually, manually assign private IPv4 addresses to cluster nodes. If fewer IP addresses are manually specified than the total number of cluster nodes, the system will automatically assign random private IPv4 addresses to those that don't get one. Manually specified IP addresses will be assigned in the following priority order: client nodes, data nodes, cold data nodes, master nodes. Security group, select a security group for the cluster. A security group serves as a virtual firewall that provides access control policies for clusters. The selected security group must allow port 9200 in the inbound direction. Otherwise, the cluster may be inaccessible to external services. Security mode. By default, the security mode is enabled. To disable it, deselect security mode. Disabled, authentication is not required. Choose this only for low security environments or internal testing. Enabled, users must provide valid credentials. Choose this when access control is required to protect the cluster. When the security mode is enabled, you must configure the administrator username and password. Then choose whether to enable HTTPS access and public network access. We recommend that you enable HTTPS, as it improves security by encrypting all communication with the cluster. The cluster we're creating in this video does not need to allow public network access, so we'll keep it unselected here. Cluster name. Use a custom cluster name or keep the preset name. Add a cluster description to enable easier identification. This is optional. Enterprise project. Keep the default value or specify an enterprise project you want to associate with the cluster. An enterprise project helps manage cloud resources. Tags. Add tags to the cluster. This can help you identify and manage your cluster resources. This is optional. Expand more settings and configure cluster settings such as automatic backup and disk encryption. Automatic snapshot creation. When enabled, snapshots will be automatically created according to a preset policy to provide continuous data protection. Snapshots will be stored in OBS buckets using the standard storage class, which will incur additional expenses. VPC Endpoint Service. VPC Endpoint enables you to access resources across VPCs using a dedicated gateway, without exposing the server's network information. Kibana Public Network Access. When enabled, a public IP address is automatically assigned for Kibana access. Users will be able to access this Elasticsearch cluster's Kibana console from the public network. Note that Kibana Public Network Access cannot be enabled for clusters with the security mode disabled. In this video, the default settings are used for all the above parameters. Step 3. Submit the cluster creation task. In the Configuration Summary panel on the right, review the cluster configuration details. Any mandatory fields that are missing are displayed in red, and you have to configure them in the configuration area. After confirming the cluster settings, click Next. Return to the cluster list to check the newly created cluster. When the cluster is created successfully, cluster status changes to available. That's all. We hope you find this video helpful. You can visit our help center to learn more.